Liam is in the driver's seat today. Take us through it.
Appreciate that, Erica. Okay, I have a study approach for this that really helped me. Let me share. A surviving spouse qualifies for a tax-free monthly payment from the V. A. They never file. Their children qualify for additional payments on top of that. Nobody tells them.
I have seen this firsthand. Families in the worst moment of their lives, dealing with grief, and the V.A. does not exactly knock on your door with a check. You have to know this exists, and most people do not.
The bottom line is simple. If a veteran died from a service-connected cause or was rated totally disabled long enough before death, their surviving family is owed money. Monthly, tax-free for life.
This is VA Benefits 1.7. Today we are covering Dependency and Indemnity Compensation, or DIC. It is the VA's primary survivor benefit, and it connects directly to the disability ratings we covered earlier in this series.
But here is the part that trips up almost everyone. There is a rule that lets surviving spouses qualify even when the veteran's death had nothing to do with their service. It is called the 10-year rule, and it is the most misunderstood provision in VA survivor benefits.
Stick with me through this one, because by the end you will know exactly who qualifies, what the VA pays, and how to file without leaving money on the table. Let me introduce the team real quick.
Good to be in the co-host seat for a change. Let us have some fun with this.
Hello, I'm Isabella. I get curious fast, and this one grabbed me immediately.
Hello, I'm George. This one brings back memories for me.
All right, let us jump in.
The base DIC rate for 2026 is $1,699.36 per month. That is the starting point for every qualifying surviving spouse, tax-free.
And that number went up 2.8% this year with the cost of living adjustment. It adjusts automatically. You do not have to refile every year.
Now here is where it builds, Isabella. That base rate is just the floor. The VA adds more depending on your situation.
If the surviving spouse needs help with daily activities, aid and attendance adds $421 per month. If they are housebound, that adds $197.22.
And there is the 8-year provision that most people miss entirely. If the veteran was rated totally disabled for at least 8 years before death, and you were married for those same 8 years, the VA adds another $360.85 per month.
So strip everything else away. A surviving spouse with the 8-year provision and aid and attendance is receiving over $2,400 a month tax-free. That is real money that changes lives.
Here is where I see the most confusion in practice. People think DIC is only for families where the veteran died in combat or from a service-connected injury. That is one path, but it is not the only path.
That connects to what we covered on disability ratings earlier in this series. Your rating status at the time of death matters enormously for your surviving family.
Path 1 is straightforward. If the veteran's death was caused by a service-connected condition or happened during active duty, the surviving spouse qualifies for DIC. Period.
Path 2 is the 10-year rule, and this is the one that changes everything. If the veteran was rated 100% totally disabled for 10 continuous years immediately before death, the surviving spouse qualifies for DIC, even if the death had nothing to do with military service.
And I want to be clear about what counts as totally disabled. TDU, total disability based on individual unemployability, counts if the VA was paying the veteran at the 100% rate through TDU for 10 years. The surviving spouse qualifies.
There are also shorter timelines. If the veteran was continuously rated totally disabled from the date of military discharge, only 5 years is required. And former prisoners of war who died after September 30th, 1999, need only 1 year.
The key word in all of this is continuously. Any break in that total disability rating resets the clock. That is the trap.
Now let me simplify the remarriage rules, because the A changed them and not everyone got the memo.
The original rule was harsh. If a surviving spouse receiving DIC remarried, the benefit stopped. No exceptions. Then Congress started adding age thresholds.
Starting December 16, 2003, surviving spouses who remarried at age 57 or older could keep their DIC. Then, in January 2021, that threshold dropped to age 55.
And if neither age exception applies, there is still a safety net. If your second marriage ends through death, divorce, or annulment, you can have your DIC reinstated. It is not gone forever.
This connects to the broader theme we keep seeing in this series. The VA does not publicize these changes well. People who remarried at 56 in 2022 may not know they now qualify.
Now for surviving children. Children under 18 qualify automatically. Children between 18 and 23 qualify if they are enrolled in a qualified school program. That adds $356.66 per month.
And a helpless child, meaning a child who became permanently disabled before age 18, can receive $717.50 per month, regardless of their current age.
This next piece connects to something every military retiree family needs to understand. For decades, surviving spouses who received both the Survivor Benefit Plan and DIC had their SBP payment reduced dollar for dollar by the DIC amount.
They called it the widow's tax, and that name tells you everything. A military retiree paid into SBP their entire career. Their spouse qualified for DIC because of a service-connected death. And the VA said, you cannot collect both in full. Erica, that penalized the families who sacrificed the most.
Here is the good news stated plainly. The SBP DIC offset was eliminated in 3 phases. 1/3 restored in 2021, 2/3 in 2022, and on January 1st, 2023, it was fully eliminated.
So today, a surviving spouse who qualifies for both SBP and DIC receives both payments in full. No offset, no reduction, no penalty. Congress phased it out over 3 years, and it is now permanent.
And the Special Survivor Indemnity Allowance, SJA, which was a partial patch during the offset years, is no longer paid since the full elimination took effect. If you see old resources mentioning SJA, that program has served its purpose.
The practical impact is significant. Some families saw their monthly income increase by over $1,000 when the full elimination took effect. That is not a policy footnote, that is rent.
Now the practical part. Filing for DIC is done with VA. Form 21P 534, Application for DIC, Death Pension, and Accrued Benefits. You can file online through va.gov by mail or through a veterans service organization.
The evidence you need depends on which path you are using. For a service-connected death, you need the veteran's death certificate showing the cause, their service records, and your marriage certificate.
For the 10-year rule path, you need documentation showing the veteran held a 100% total disability rating continuously for 10 years before death. That usually means their VA rating decision letters. I have seen claims delayed for months because families could not locate those documents.
And here is one more thing that connects to everything we have covered: accrued benefits. If the veteran had a pending VA claim at the time of death or was owed money the VA had not yet paid, the surviving spouse can claim that money.
Under 38 U.S.C. Section 5121, accrued benefits go first to the surviving spouse, then to the children in equal shares, then to dependent parents. But you must file within 1 year of the veteran's death.
If you take one thing from today, it is this: do not wait. File within 1 year. Contact a VSO. They do this for free, and they will make sure nothing gets left on the table. Always verify at va.gov.
Let me tie this together. DIC is the VA's primary survivor benefit. It starts at $1,699.36 per month, tax-free, and it builds from there depending on your situation.
2 paths in, Service-connected death is the obvious one, but Liam, the 10-year rule is the one that catches people off guard. If the veteran was rated totally disabled for 10 continuous years before death, DIC is on the table regardless of what caused the death.
Remarriage does not automatically end DIC if you are 55 or older. Children qualify through age 23 in school, and the SBP offset is gone permanently since 2023.
File within 1 year. Use a VSO. Do not leave accrued benefits unclaimed. Drop in the comments if you or someone you know might qualify for DIC.
If this series is helping you understand the benefits your family has earned, subscribe. We are covering every major VA benefit program so nothing gets left behind. All right, quiz time. Let's find out what's stuck. Think through each question carefully before you answer.
A like and subscribe takes less time than reading this sentence. Do it now and help us reach more learners.
A veteran was rated 100% disabled through TDU for 12 years before dying of a heart attack unrelated to military service. Does the surviving spouse qualify for DIC? The correct answer is A, yes. TDU counts as total disability, and 12 years exceeds the 10-year continuous requirement, so the surviving spouse qualifies regardless of the cause of death.
A surviving spouse receiving DIC remarries at age 54 in 2022. What happens to their DIC payments? The correct answer is D. DIC payments are suspended because the spouse was under 55 at the time of remarriage, but can be reinstated if the new marriage ends.
A veteran dies with a pending VA disability claim. The surviving spouse files for DIC but does not mention the pending claim. What benefit is the spouse potentially missing? The correct answer is D. Accrued benefits under 38 U.S.C. Section 5121, which pays money the VA owed the veteran at the time of death.
The thing I keep coming back to is how many separate provisions are buried inside one benefit. DIC is not one payment. It is a base rate, plus add-ons, plus accrued benefits, plus passable SBP. George, that complexity is exactly why families miss money they are owed.
What gets me is the 10-year rule. Isabella, I have talked to surviving spouses who were told flat out by family members that they did not qualify because the death was not service-connected. Nobody mentioned the 10-year path. That misinformation costs families thousands of dollars a year.
And the remarriage age change in 2021 is still catching up. There are surviving spouses right now who remarried at 55 or 56 and have no idea they can get DIC back. That is not a policy detail. That is someone's housing payment.
Next video, we cover aid and attendance, the enhanced VA pension for wartime veterans and their surviving spouses who need help with daily activities. It can pay over $2,000 a month, and most qualifying families have never heard of it. That is VA Benefits 1.8. If this series is helping your family understand benefits you have earned, subscribe. We are covering every major VA program so nothing gets missed. Liam here, go check va.gov and talk to a VSO. Quiz time, let's see what you've learned. Keep connecting the dots, see you next time.
I have to admit, Liam made that look easy. Solid 9 out of 10. Professor Erica, signing off.